All right, let's come back.
We have way too many voices. This is Clubhouse. I'm African and blessed. I'm on the down even when I face the stress. The kind of punches where you make your face press. I'm in flight, this is it, this is sex. It's big energy when I flex. I think them scared of me. It's like.
They went in hard. This is Crown of Clay featuring with that's Vector and MI Abaga featuring Feels. Are you feeling this song, James?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one collaboration that the whole of all the hip hop heads in Africa have been waiting for. I mean, this is a situation that caused a major brawl on social media. I mean, it was just one tiny, mini, point for them to meet physically and throw or exchange punches, but it never happened. I mean, this particular song had initially put out a couple of big songs, like one of some of the biggest big songs that we've ever had in the industry. It was a major. It took a lot for this to happen, and thankfully, this is what people or what the hip hop community has been waiting for, and we finally have it. And yes, did it cut across? I absolutely think so. So now what has happened is that both artists are now grown to a level where it wasn't about coming together to trade bars or to trade punchlines and all of that. It was coming now to address, maybe let me not say address, just actually talk about the situation that is actually known to every other person who has told us to understand the story. It's about the black man, it's about the black nation, it's about slavery, colonialism. In fact, it touches a lot of things and talks about that confidence, how we are who we are, and not to be defined by our colonial masters or the other side of the world. It's a very, very powerful message. It's a very powerful song. And I'm very happy that it was released at the right time. If they had done the song together maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, they probably wouldn't have had the same power or the same impact that this one can possibly have. It's a powerful song. It's a beautiful song. The beat, the instrumental is hip hop in its crudest form. All right.
Yeah.
Feels genius. He went in on this particular, like he created this sound specifically for the message that was going to be passed with it. And I also like the fact that he had him in the song as well. It's a beautiful song. It's a good song. I love it.
Okay, obviously, you obviously love it. I mean, the passion in your voice as you're talking about it.
I mean, Oris, what it is.
Tell me about what you think, Oris, very quickly, so we can get into our stories for today.
I think James is mostly correct about it being a quite delightful song. But for me, I think part of the thing I think about is the backstory. I'm a bit unhappy, by the way, or displeased that they did not take an opportunity to discuss their issues. I really would have loved to hear a song where pretty much they discuss why they did what they did. I mean, the beef.
You think they'd have released a song like that? I
think they said there's an album coming out. I think that one of those songs is going to certainly address that, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm just of the opinion that I would have liked for the first song to be that, but I mean, I'm still fine with this song. One of the things I think is important about this song is the third person on the song, Fuse.
Yeah.
I think people would remember that Fuse actually was like the main producer for YBNL, Olamide's label, like years ago. I think he did a lot of songs on what I consider Olamide's best album, YBNL, not YBNL, but this guy Valivet. So I think it's important. Yes. So there's the beef in quotes with MI and Vector has been squashed with it. But there's also that old rivalry that Olamide had with MI. Of course, none of them ever admitted it in public, but it was there. And now with one of their major producers doing a song for MI, I think it says something about the hip hop space. I think a lot of us know that the hip hop space has been a bit, has been a bit under some kind of crisis in the sense that it's not as popular as pop music. And so everybody pretty much coming together means that it's probably a time where people are setting aside their egos to pretty much work together. So yeah, Excellent
When you
piece
need
of
money, you set aside your ego. For ego, you set aside your ego. Please clap for me now.
Exactly. That's the way
Thank
I'm
you
looking
for
at it.
my rhyme. I'm rhyming this morning. I am, dropping the. Thank you. Okay, so now let's get into the juicy stuff. I'm tempted to say juicy because these stories are something else. So first of all, the fans have come for Omo Babalo, aka Davido, because he was seen in loved up photos kissing his rumored new bae, Mairo-Ese. Maya, by the way, is young Ma's ex-girlfriend, and they were pictured getting cozy, sharing a French kiss. What country were they? Was it in France? Maybe that's why. You see, I'm full of jokes this morning, aren't I? Guys, give me accolade. I need to start out together.
Yeah, take it.
Take your accolades.
You're on a roll.
I'm on a roll. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're cookies, and of course, people went on Twitter, and two names were trending. Chama Roland and Assurance was trending on Twitter when and people were so angry, they're incensed, really. How dare you, Davido? Davido has responded with just one side eye emoji on his Twitter handle. He can't be bothered. Much ado about nothing. What did you guys make of all this? He's with another bae, he's not with another bae, and all that.
For me, it's just another one of those things. It's not new. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was last week or so, or 2 weeks ago, there were pictures of, and in fact, a snippet of like an interview that his supposedly alleged fourth baby mama. Yeah, sorry for that language, but that's how it was reported.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about how David had not been supportive of, to her and the child. Then not long after that, this week, we are now seeing this particular picture come out. And the funny thing is that this picture would have been spread or put out by the widow's friends.
PR, yeah.
So, I mean, the guy might not come out to address, he doesn't owe it to. Some people will say, oh, he owes it to us, we are his fans.
They think he owes it to them more.
He doesn't owe it to anybody. Yeah, he doesn't owe it to anybody.
He does actually. He owes it to all of us.
Who are you?
I'm part of the relationship. I'm the third person. I'm the third person.
I don't feel like he owes it to it. Like, personally, I really don't care. It's his love life. It's his life. You understand? I feel like it's something that he's going to have to deal with. He can afford it. I mean, he has been taking care of his other children's moms.
So he should just be populating the world because
so
he can afford it.
So because he has money, I mean, it's his life, So morally, and the way we are built here in Nigeria, so to speak, or I don't want to say Africa. Let me talk about where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
People frown at those kind of things, But a lot of times you see that for the wealthy men in the society, they even still hail themselves, they still greet them, and they know that this is just what it is. They can afford to take care of the children. So if you like, have 10 baby mamas or 10, 20, it really, really doesn't bother me directly. The only thing that bothers in this situation is the fact that he celebrated Chioma in a major way. He put Chioma in the spotlight.
He put a curse on himself. If people believe in what he said, if I ever leave you, make water carry me.
Yes, but don't take those songs seriously. Don't take those things seriously. David might never have to go sail a boat to travel. Things that water was going to carry him. So no problem. So, but I'm just saying that it's his life. I'm sure he'll be fine. Everybody will be fine at the end of the day.
Okay.
But it's just unfortunate for some people. Some people are probably sad. And maybe Chioma too does not really send him like that. So we can't come and carry somebody's fire on our own head.
All right. Oris, what do you think? Are you bothered or not bothered?
I think we will not be fine. James is very wrong. We will not be fine. We are not going to be fine. Look, when immediately Davido did that song, that Assurance song, I think that was like an invitation letter that he sent to me, sent it into my email and say, you know what, Oris, you are welcome to my affair with Chioma. And so you have a say in this. So anyway, what that means is that when something like this happens, my first thought is that, bros, you cannot say anything against anybody who is putting mouth in this issue because look, it was you who gave us that invitation. You gave us a mass invitation. So now that we are there, just leave us to talk our talk. So yeah, I mean, but to be fair, I think the most important person in all of this is actually Chioma, because she's the person who is pretty much doesn't have a photo out there, at least not loved up with Davido, and yet she's been the person who's I think clogged a part of who has attracted a lot of the headlines as well.
Yeah.
Because people are like, what is she thinking? So in fact, I think the question is, what exactly is she thinking at the moment? I'm assuming that if it is in fact true that Davido has a new affair, a new girlfriend, a new wife.
Which one is if it's in fact true? The evidence points to the obvious.
No, look, Davido is an African man, he's a Nigerian man. James can speak more about how Nigerian men or African men are. But anyway, my point is this: is that I'm sure Chioma would have been aware about all of this before it came out. So it is my thought that I hope she has come to terms with it before all of this noise online.
What is she? Why are we making her? Why are we making her out to be the victim? What if she's the one who broke up with Davido, and Davido is trying to when people are hurt and are trying to.
I know it is. I know it is newfound good to assume that every woman has agency and stuff, but no. I think in this issue, I think all of us know. You, me, James.
Me, I don't know that. Chioma is living her life.
That was if they are in fact separated, it was not Chioma's decision. I think all of us know that. So let's not
see my mouth open. I don't agree.
Oris, you're single. This is your opportunity to shoot your shot.
I don't agree.
Right now, do your thing, bro.
If you're listening to us out there, tell us what you think. I'm of the opinion, of course, that Chioma broke it off. I mean, they didn't call me for the breaking off meeting. And Davido is hurt and he's trying to get back at her. And so flaunting all these pictures like I'm fine. Let me tell you something. He's the first person to quickly jump into another relationship that is hurt the most. Why? Because
rebound relationship.
Yes,
Davido cost it. Chioma broke up with him, but Davido cost it. How about that?
Exactly. Thank you. So he's hurting. He's trying to push her away. All right, so Jay says, hey, it's David O. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't tell us how it's pronounced. Is it David O or David O? David O.
David O, one word.
David O.
David won't play. David O.
David O.
Or maybe she meant David O.
Okay.
Exclamation.
Okay, well, maybe Time and Age teaches us. Oh, maybe play on words. It's David O. Yeah, you're right. Time and Age teaches us all when he's older, he'll realize that these decisions were not the best. So let him enjoy his life. Chioma should just live her life and do what makes her happy and let David be true. And let us leave Chioma be. Please let her be. Let's let her be. All right, let's go to break. When we come back, some more stuff. Peter Doce. Let me give him respect. Chief Pete Doce is in the news. We're going to talk about that. And also, hopefully, we have enough time to look at Sowiti and, where's he now? Two people, rapper Quavo and ex-girlfriend Sowiti's physical altercation recorded in the elevator. Also, did you know that Game of Thrones is coming on stage? Let's talk about that after the break.
98.1.
You people, what is going on there?
That guy's name is Quavo.
Oh, is it Ewo Quavo? Obviously, you guys know that. You know that I'm just hearing.
Whatever. You're not American.
That's the one that people should send me a message about how to pronounce it. Quavo. You know how when we were younger, I know what Quavo meant. I said with my full chest, Quavo. That's what I did say during the flood.
I don't know what it means, so. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's people like you that are like Davido. It's people that is spending the most.
It's not me.
Come out and give disclaimer.
Oh my God.
James, you are Davido.
Why are you attacking me? I feel attacked.
I never
for correcting you for how to pronounce something. You now says, I said I don't know the meaning. You now say it's people like me.
No, I say that you don't know.
Oris is single. Oris is single.
Leave my shirt. He didn't come to be single.
Because he got no commitment.
They've come for you, James. They've come for you. Should be said that it's his life. He should be having children up and down.
Wow.
Come on air.
That's not my fault.
He should be having children up and down.
I'm not his advisor. I'm just saying.
No, please. Which one? Please, it should be responsible. I'm sorry.
We can
You
count. King Sunny Ade cannot count his children.
So that's the role model.
What will I do now? They are rich people.
No. No.
Who try me this morning, I'll give them back. Oh, want them.
Who?
Anybody that tries me.
I'm going to read it, don't worry. And it's one of our faves here on the show. That's
no problem.
How can you say that?
No problem.
Mm-hmm. Everyone on YouTube, don't forget you can send in your comments, join the conversation using our YouTube, the chat box. We'd love to take your comments as well. So if you're live on YouTube, please let us know. We'd love to take your comments on YouTube. We're back in 10 seconds.
Dial *406# to join. Everywhere you go, MTN. Hi, this is Lord Frank. You're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. Like Lord Frank said, you need to keep listening to your smoothest dial on radio. It's the Grapevine 981, and I'm here with James, Silas, and Oris. And
what's up?
And just before the break, we're talking about Davido and his new babe and what people were saying about this. James had an opinion about that. Oris has an opinion about that. And now Ozzy on WhatsApp has an opinion on the opinion of James. So he says, good morning, please, James. Are you kidding me? Exclamation. Yes, no, sorry. Question mark. Yes, it's his life, but what kind of message is he sending to young unmarried people looking at him? This sends a wrong message to couples in marriages. I've been married for 16 years, and as hard as it is, folks should respect the institution. Davido is childish and immature, a terrible brand for Nigeria. I say, if you'd like to join the conversation, we are live on YouTube. Oh gosh, if you missed the break, then you're missing a lot. So go on to YouTube to see us and watch all our face, hand gestures on there. It's YouTube, Smooth 981 FM Lagos. And you can still send your messages to us on WhatsApp, 0809 444 0981. And on Twitter at Smooth 981 FM, use the hashtag Grapevine 981. Cruz says, Ayo, don't leave me. Oris, which African man you define? Stop it. Yes, we're changing the narrative. Oris. Yeah. That's not our African.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm. And then Ania says, hello, everyone. I think if you put the good moments of your relationship in the public, it will be the public's business in the sore moments as well. So we're all in this together.
Okay. We're all in it together.
Oh, yeah, something else we're all in. Oh, by the way, thanks a lot, James, for letting me know it's Quavo, not what I said earlier on. So my apologies.
Go ahead.
Quavo and ex-girlfriend, Sawiti. They were caught on camera in a physical altercation. They've broken up now, but it was interesting to see them actually fighting. And I think something to point out in this story, guys, is that she hit him first. You know, they talk about domestic violence or gender-based violence, and oftentimes it's a man against a woman. But this time she hit him first. And I think it's, you know, we need to highlight things. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does happen where the lady is the aggressor. But both of them then became aggressors. Okay, but that's not the big one this morning. Can we go on to the Peter Doce story?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to that. Who's ready for the Peter Doce story? So Peter Doce, Chief Peter Doce, is in the news, and this time it's not for his acting prowess or a latest movie he's doing or something, you know, production he's involved in. It's actually with regards to what he's been saying. So he's been saying a lot of things recently. The only thing is that he whips up a lot of controversy when he does say these things. He was in an interview with BBC Igbo, and he has blamed feminism for the rise in domestic violence and broken marriages. Wait for this. Let me tell you what he said to see if you'll be shocked. He said, this thing called feminism, that's what leads women getting beaten in marriages. When you talk to a woman, she'll respond to you. When she responds to you, you won't be able to bear it. So you stretch out your hand and beat her up. I'm feeling a type of way even reading this thing. Then he's also revealed that women are limited in their understanding. According to him, he noticed this after working with them as a colleague and as colleagues and as a boss. He said it's not everything they explain to you that you people understand. For the record, women's understanding, he even put it on the record, is limited. Let me tell you the truth. Chief, don't you? I'm calling Pete. Chief, you don't you? I have so much respect for him, I won't say anything. Let me let the men speak, since you people have more understanding. If you want to go ahead and share your understanding with us this morning. Oris, let me start with you first.
This is not fair. James wanted to say something. James?
Come on, go ahead. Ladies first, go ahead.
For me, I take each of these. I mean, over the past, I think it's been weeks now, maybe about a month or 2 or 3, since Pete has been, I don't know, giving us his opinion on
nuggets of wisdom.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't think that he deserves some of the insults. At least I have seen online. I had to block somebody because I'm like, you know what? I don't think that there's any justification to insult this guy. The truth is this. Edochie belongs to a way different time. I mean, the guy is pushing 80, right? That's like almost like 3 lifetimes ago. So he doesn't belong to our time. So there are several things he can't quite grasp. Even if, of course, I think sometime in the 70s, Rudolf Steinheim and everything was the person.
Don't freeze on us now, Oris. Okay, let me go on to James while we get Oris back on the line.
Yes, I believe Oris was actually on the line to, nailing.
Person who, I mean, from it is so popular as it is now. And of course, he was younger at the time, but I don't think a lot of those.
Okay, Oris, go ahead now, please. We have you back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I had given all of my own nuggets of wisdom.
Can you imagine? Just do a little moonwalk.
Yeah, so I was saying that I think that I don't think the man deserves any insult at all, because we have a situation where he belongs to a way different time than now. So anything he says is pretty much reflective of the time he belongs to. So he's not young, So I don't think someone said he should not be interviewed about this topic, and I think that that's the truth, frankly. I don't think there's anybody that will take advice from Peter Dossier right now about how to treat women, because I mean their own time was vastly different. There's a way in which you can view what he said as endorsing domestic violence, which I don't think anybody should permit. So yeah, I think
Oris. I agree with the first part of what you said. He has put in the work. I respect him, and that's why I said I won't say anything. I can speak against the statement, but definitely not against the person. I have too much respect for Chief Peter Doche. However, saying that that's not an endorsement for domestic violence, how is it until it beats? It shows by.
No. I think that can be viewed as an endorsement.
Okay.
But I do not think that anybody should take that seriously, because he belongs to a way different time. Okay. I mean, he's the one who said that his wife couldn't look him in the eye. Do you know how shocking it would be for a young man today to have a girlfriend, not even a wife, who can look him in the eye?
Okay, then, before you go on, let me just say, Solomon from Akoka is laughing. Says, James just said ladies first. He's always a lady. Solomon, that's how they do it. So, James,
that's why he's saying that.
Please go
I mean, to make it milder, Oris is a feminist. So, do you feel better now, Oris? Okay, but I'm just saying. So seriously speaking, I think Oris has nailed it. The actual point there is that Chief Pete Edochie is from a different generation entirely. I mean, we can still draw it further. Look, I saw my dad, or how my dad and my mom's relationship, and it wasn't as friendly as we have it today. All right, people, and the same thing it applies to a lot of parents from back in the day. You see that there's that husband. The husband is like husband, and then the wife is supposed to just be the wife. And the same thing applies to a lot of African marriage, or maybe say Nigerian marriages from back in the day, which was why the men could have beyond religion now, men could have even more than a wife and still nobody's going to bat an eyelid. They had the power to say or do whatever they wanted to do. So Edochie is coming from a different generation entirely. And the truth is that even in this generation today, a lot of people still don't understand feminism in the sense of it.
Yeah.
And feminism does not actually push. Yeah, feminism does not actually push disrespect the way some these people actually the way they perceive it. Feminism just talks about equal ground in terms of opportunities, in terms of speaking up, in terms of it was still that same feminism that gave women franchise to vote from what was it called from back in the day as well.
Yeah, suffragettes.
So it's just for maybe somebody can be his children, his son might have to take some time to maybe break it down in this, because some men actually, even in this generation, are scared of the word. When they hear feminism, they think that they have come to want to take our position from us and everything. But if you actually understand where or the angle from which feminism is coming from, then you know that it's not particularly a challenge problem. Yeah. When it crosses the line between you and somebody who's trying to front that whole feminist thing, you will know how to address it as long as you understand what it means and what it actually stands for. So, but for me, I feel like Oris said, I agree that he's coming from a different generation and might never understand it.
Yeah. So true. However, and like you said, I want to just point, I actually blame his children, because I don't know why they keep, or whoever his handlers are in terms of managers, why are they allowing, you know how it is when you're allowing him to do interviews like this and allow him to make statements like that. When even if you were present at that kind of interview, of course, his free speech, they can't gag him, but they can advise. That's why they are there. Sorry? Oris.
Yeah, I was going to say, free speech means that you can't really stop him from saying something.
But you can, because you know how he would, because you, just like what you have said, there's an explanation for this, his time, understanding, but you won't allow him to keep making statements like that outside, because it's hurting him, his brand. He's hurting, well, I don't know if it is. I don't know if people find it, if they see it as a problem, or they're like, oh, he can say anything he wants to. But let me just go to now we have comments. I trust our people. Cruz says, social media has made all of us the proverbial fly on the wall. Once you air it, we go talk. This one wasn't even so. He did an interview with a popular station, and he said it wasn't even as if he was saying it in his house or saying it to his family members or tweeting it to his followers. He gave an interview. Chibike Roy says, I disagree completely with Chief Edochie, but as Oris has pointed out, he belongs to a time past and such were acceptable ways of doing things then. I also agree that he really needs not be offering an opinion on these subjects in this era. I have a lot of regard for him, but I won't take that opinion seriously. Sometimes a person just needs to lend their voice for the sake of pushing relevance, whether it's required or not, or if it will change anything or not. That's what I'm saying. It's not, anyways. LOL at Pete says, OG, wahala for who wants to take advice on women affairs from an 80-year-old. Okay, then you're going to cause a riot here. I'm not going to say what you said, please. What this OG wants to say is going to settle. We're going to trend, and maybe not for the right reasons. And Lax says, so is it safe to say we all have to wait for Edochie's generation to pass on for us to grow a little bit in this world? These people are pulling us. Really? She went there. All right, then generation on Ozzy says, generation or not, what is wrong is wrong. Come on, it's all excuses. A real man celebrates feminism. I am tired with a lot of exclamation marks. Ayo, his brand.
But that's not fair. That's not a fair comment. That's not a fair comment at all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I mean, of course, in the same way that Chief Edochie, why am I saying Edochie? I mean, this my Yoruba side wants to force itself out where it is suppressed. Chief Edochie said that as free as he is to express his opinion, so do our listeners and people. And of course, the comments are still coming in. I'll take these two final comments, and we have to go. We have from Daniel. Does Pete Edochie strike you as someone who would take advice from his handlers or what's not to say?
Exactly. I was going to say that. Nobody can talk to the man.
But someone must handle his emails. So when those requests for interviews, you decline.
An email, right? If you're doing an interview, I don't think anybody can say, you know what? Chief, don't say that too. Chief must talk.
Yeah, they should not let Chief do interviews. They should just tell him to release statements.
Why not?
No, you tell them, send the questions in advance. You do the interview with Chief and you edit it. please, you have to manage these things. It's like better not. Then Jay says,
I'm just thinking about how my father was. How would anybody get the nerve to tell him anything when we're younger? I don't think it was ever possible. Yeah.
That's Jay is saying the same thing, that this man will not, if you tell him don't say what you should say, he's not going to listen to you. He's going to say what, and of course he's earned.
You think you are being disrespectful.
Right. Yes, he's earned his rights, to be fair. He has, and we might not agree with what he's saying, but he has a right to speak his mind. However, we also have a right to educate people on what is right.
Yes, but not to insult the man.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we didn't do that. I don't think you would. I think we are good people. Allow me to say
I
that.
meant online. They did a lot of
online they did. But you know now, this is Generation Z. Coconut head generation. They don't take things lying low.
It's ridiculous.
They are going to come for you, Ayo, for what you just said now.
Generation Z, coconut head generation. Yes. But they claim it now. I'm not doing. They should come. They should let me trend like Shay. Anything.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Fine. Closing comments before we go, please.
James Silas is James Silas on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse, everywhere. Holla at me. Let me know you come to you know me from the Grapevine. I'll definitely holla back. See you guys on the next one. Peace.
See you. And then Oris.
James has been oppressing me with this Clubhouse, so I think over the next few weeks I'm going to actually get on Clubhouse.
Do you have an iPhone?
It's still Twitter. You said?
Do you have an iPhone? Only iPhone.
I do.
You want to shame me?
Congratulations.
You just want to shame me.
You're fired. But yes, it's Couch Oris on Twitter. That's CATTHORIS on Twitter, and same thing, Couch Orisgram on Instagram. Say hi.
All right. Okay, say hi. Make sure you say hi and tell them that you're from the Grapevine 91. Final comment. Doreen says Peter Doche has brain shock. His children need to call him to order. They need to call him to. You see what I was? I think at the end of the day, I do hold this, and his son is a politician. You know, this can also hurt his political career, because if they're saying this is where you were raised, you are shaking your head because we haven't gotten to that level yet. Or
his son is going for presidency. Don't worry, nothing will happen. No problem.
All right, we have
his son is going for presidency, so don't worry.
Thank you all so much for your contributions. Thank you, James. Thank you, Oris. Really grateful, and thanks to all our wonderful listeners. Thank you for contributed. Don't forget, 9 o'clock, it's going to get quite hot in here because the headlines from this morning were something else. So let's talk at 9 o'clock. Lagos Talks 981. We open the phone lines and discuss the biggest stories making the headlines this morning in Nigeria. This is Smooth 98.1.
The Grapevine of the Smooth.
Thank you so much. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. We do this again on Tuesday. Valentine will be here then. Have a beautiful week and see you.